Hey, what's going on guys? Luis here, and recently I've been getting a lot of questions about what are some of the best budget graphics cards that you can get for the money in 2015. A lot of you guys were wondering, like, how much money do I really need to spend to play this game, or what do I really need to get to do this kind of video editing, and things along that way. So I decided to go ahead and do just that and compile my top picks for the best budget graphics cards in 2015. Now, if you're watching this after a long time I uploaded this, just keep in mind that there might be a few more options. There's a new graphics card coming out every so often. But these are just my top picks for the best budget graphics cards that you can get without breaking the bank. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight into it. So the first card we're going to be taking a look at is the EVGA GeForce GT 730. Now the great thing about this card is that you can actually change the configuration size for the card itself. So you can choose between 1 gig or 2 gigs of DDR5 VRAM, and if you choose to go with the 1 gig version, you're only going to have to pay $69.95, but I strongly recommend that you go with the 2 gig version for only $10 more. This card has 384 CUDA cores, and if you don't know what CUDA cores are, they basically represent the processing power of the card itself. So with that many cores and a clock speed of 902 MHz, you're definitely getting a great deal of performance out of this card. Now, taking a look at some benchmarks, you can see that if you paired with something like an Intel Celeron G6 120, you can get a pretty decent 52 FPS in average if you play the game Batman Arkham Origins at a resolution of 1336 by 768. Just as long as you don't expect to max out Crysis 3, I think you're going to be pretty happy with this card. It can definitely do a whole lot without breaking the bank, and this is probably the best option if you're on a really tight budget. Next up, we're checking out the AMD Radeon R7 250X. Now this is a very popular card, but the only bad thing about it is that you cannot change the configuration. You're only stuck at 1 gig of DDR5 VRAM for about $100. You're also getting a clock speed of 1020 MHz, which is about 100 MHz faster than the GT 730. And with a dual fan design, you're getting 11% better airflow and also a 14% quieter gaming environment. Now for a gaming benchmark, we're taking a look at Battlefield 4 at 1080p, and as you can tell, this card does a hell of a job with an average of 58.7 FPS on medium settings. So I would definitely recommend this card, especially if you can afford the extra $20 coming from the GT 730, just because you're getting a little bit more performance. But with that being said, let's move on to the next one. Next up is the EVGA GeForce GTX 750 Ti. Now this is the most powerful card that I will mention here, but it's also the most expensive at $140. So for that kind of money, you're getting a base clock speed of 1176 MHz and about 640 CUDA cores. But the nice thing about this card is that you can actually have a boost speed of about 1255 MHz and a total of 2 gigs of DDR5 VRAM. Also, since this card is made by NVIDIA, you're also getting support for things like NVIDIA Surround, NVIDIA G-Sync, NVIDIA PhysX, and a whole bunch of other optimized features for NVIDIA cards. Now diving into the gaming benchmark, you can see that the 750 Ti performs pretty well on medium settings with over 60 FPS on games like BioShock Infinite. And of course, you can take a look at a whole bunch of other benchmarks, but these are just to give you a relative idea of how each card performs. So those were my best choices for a budget graphics card, and I hope this was helpful to some of you guys in choosing the right GPU for your build. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below, and if you want to see any more videos like this one, please subscribe down below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.